All right, we are talking thoroughbred horse racing on Proline TV. We are live, and this gives us an opportunity to interact with our viewers. If you, of course, wind up missing our live broadcast, which many of you will, then that's okay, because that means you're just watching on demand as usual. But if you ever get a chance, just keep in mind we'll be doing more of these live broadcasts in the future. So the best way to follow us, obviously, is to subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of our shows. You could also hit that notification bell, and that will ding to let you know that, hey, wait a second, there's something going on right now. I better check it out. And that might be the horse racing show that we are producing and recording and posting just right now. And on today's show, John, we're going to talk about 3 Kentucky Derby prep races. So we have a lot to talk about. How's everything going for you?
Good, Greg. How are you?
Doing good. We had a really good week last week. Pumped up about that. We had a lot of interaction with the viewers, so that's always awesome. And we're going to get into that as well before we handicap the 3 races today on the show. So this is like one of those deals where John will be handicapping 3 races with me. He'll do it again around Breeders' Cup time, and that's it. So it's a special show. And this just shows you that this is one of those really big days in horse racing when we have 3 really big races to handicap, even though, unfortunately, John, they're not all going to be on the same day now.
Well, they have made an announcement that Keeneland opening day was supposed to be Friday, and Saturday was the big day with the Bluegrass. However, both of those days have been changed. They're moving Friday to Monday and Saturday till Tuesday. So the Bluegrass this year will be run on Tuesday at Keeneland. That's probably a first.
And are they probably going to keep the same time?
They're going to keep everything the same. They're not even redrawing. They're running the identical Friday card on Monday and the identical Saturday card on Tuesday. So you don't have to do your work or anything. Everything is there for you.
Excellent. Now that'll be our 3rd race that we're going to handicap. So that'll go off at about 5:52 on Tuesday. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And also, whenever I'll get like a NASCAR race or a golf event that gets postponed, especially in NASCAR, it happens more, and it happens to race on a Monday. Well, you hate it that you missed it on Sunday, but then when Monday comes around, you're like, hey, I got a NASCAR race on Monday. That's pretty cool. So that's the thing. We got like a really great big Kentucky Derby prep race on a Tuesday night. That should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, they're going to do good business because for the most part, all the major tracks don't run on Monday and Tuesday. They have smaller out-of-town tracks that run, but they don't attract much handle. But you could be sure that people will be involved, certainly on Monday and Tuesday at Keeneland.
Yeah, and is this their opening week?
Yes, Friday was opening day.
Oh, so opening day will be Monday for them, or last Friday,
no,
you mean?
Actually, it'll be Sunday because the first day they're going to race will be Sunday's not canceled yet. Only Friday and Saturday have been postponed, and Sunday is still so far so good.
Okay, well, that's a bummer. But again, like I said, it really helps to energize your Tuesday evening that you don't normally have something to watch sports-wise, especially at 6 o'clock. So anyway, looking forward to that. And the whole card, of course, being a Saturday card on a Tuesday, that also seems pretty awesome.
I'm getting confused, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So either way, your picks are already set. Like you said, all the races are set. Nothing's changing regarding anything. So don't forget, we have a link in the description if you want to know what John's picks are for the entire day or any card. Of course, not only that we talk about, but obviously what we don't talk about, because there's a lot we don't talk about that John does on the time that we don't see him here on this show. Okay, so before we get into this week's show, and I also want to remind everybody that's watching live, you can interact with us. You can text us and communicate with us, questions, comments, things of that nature. And we also want to remind everybody, too, that we are now monetized on the channel. So if you ever want to donate to the channel, you can. There's a thanks icon on the bottom of the video, and it's pretty easy to see. If you click that, you can donate anything from $1 on up. Anything. Any of that is just obviously going to be a way that you can give back to the channel, sponsor the channel in a way. And it's just another great way to donate to the channel and support us. So that's a thanks icon, bottom of the screen. If you can't do that, subscribing, liking, sharing, all that stuff, also very awesome. And we appreciate that. Before we take a look, by the way, let's check the comments. And I know Jeff Hockman has already made a couple of comments. So, yeah, this is one of the races we're not going to be talking about this weekend, John, but this is also going to be a pretty big day at Dubai. And this is going to be airing what? Usually first thing in the morning on Saturday
morning, probably about 6 a.m. And good luck to Jeff Hoffman and the rest of his gang over there. They have a terrific horse in Straight No Chaser. He won the last time that he ran there, and he's probably going to win again on Saturday. So this will be a very rich horse come Saturday afternoon.
And appreciate that, Jeff. By the way, Jeff has already given his pick here. I could see for the Santa Anita Derby, liking Barnes to win in place. So I'm not sure how much money you'll make on the place, but I'm assuming you're going to put a load of money on him.
You're not betting. You can't bet the place in a 5-horse field. Jeff, you're better than that. Come on.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened last week. Let's first start with the Florida Derby. And again, we had a really great week going 3 for 3. John, you hit this one at the Florida Derby. So let's talk about the race. I'm not sure if you have sheets for the outcome, but here we go just before the stretch drive of the Florida Derby. And what did you think, by the way, as far as your winning pick there?
Well, we were right on. I mean, listen, we loved, we loved the winner, and take nothing away from the horse that ran second, because he ran very well in defeat. We said he wasn't going to be squeezed, and he ran second.
Sovereignty, yeah.
Sovereignty.
Look, he sure looks like he's giving it his all.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
He sure looks like he's giving it his all.
Well, he did. Of course, he's going to try. I didn't say he wasn't going to try. I just said the trainer didn't have him cranked up to run, his best race. So if he ran that well without being cranked up, it's going to be a great Derby. And remember, the winner only making his third lifetime start. So to run that good from post 9 in your third lifetime start, first time going a mile and whatever it was, why not? Good for him.
Tapan Street.
There's 17 different pronunciations for his name. Tappan Street, Tappan Street. Everyone's calls him something else, but
yeah, I was calling him like I think most normal people Tappan Street, and I heard Tappan Street on the air. So
yeah, the announcer was calling him Tappan Street.
Yeah.
I'd still call him Tappan Street. So
okay, either way, but there you go, big win, and like you said, only his third start. So did you say we have a number on him?
He ran a 6 3/4.
Wow. So 12, 10, and 6. That's a hell of a start. Brad Cox, Luis Saez. That's a nice combo there. And yeah, that's those are 2 horses right there that are going to be 2 of the ones to beat for sure at the Derby.
Well, you still got to see post position and everything else. Everyone knows how important that is, but.
All right, so that was the Florida Derby, and you had the exacta in that one too. So now let's go to the Arkansas Derby, and we'll pick it up just before the stretch drive of this one. And John, in the Arkansas Derby, you also had the exacta. Actually, bigger payoff in this one.
Yeah, the winner and exacta. What was interesting is, I don't know what Johnny V was doing. He's a Hall of Fame rider. He took Cornucopian out, and him and the 5 just went at it. They were set suicide fractions. Not the greatest of rides from a Hall of Famer, but again, the horse actually ran very well to finish 4th after the hard race he had, and he's never been 2 turns. Career start number 2 to run 4th after those suicidal fractions.
Look at them out there.
Yeah. I mean, they were just, what were they thinking about? They didn't really think they could survive either one of them. Right. So I don't
remember Speed King had won the same way a couple of starts ago.
He had a loose lead. He wasn't getting the lead over.
He wasn't battling.
I mean, one of them should have taken back.
Yeah.
So it certainly helped Sandman. He got the setup he was waiting
Perfect.
for. The setup we expected, and he ran well. And the maiden again ran second with Pratt aboard, and he actually ran very well. If you watch the start of the race, the Pratt horse. What was his name? I forget. Anyway, he ran. He has trouble at the start. Watch him check back right out of the gate. He's the 3 horse. You see, he's last now.
Got
he got
it. Okay.
squeezed early, and he still came on to run second. So good for him.
All right, so he's right here. Yep. He was all over the place there.
It's Pratt. He's forced to check back to last.
Yep. And that was the one Publisher. Oh, okay. So he actually finished second then. Okay.
Yeah, after all that, so
impressive. And his best number was the last race, and he ran at 12. So I got to believe.
Yeah, and he never. By the way, he still hasn't won a race. He's a maiden, so keep that in mind.
That is true. And I got to believe he's coming off an even better number now. So that means he'll go 17, 12, and maybe a single digit possible.
Oh, I'm going to look to see if I got the number. Oh, it's only Wednesday. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, usually they put them up on Thursday. So
okay. Yeah, that's right. We're doing the show a little bit earlier today. So, but yeah, there you go. I mean, that's just another couple of big races with some. You don't have to win, obviously, these races to win the Kentucky Derby. So there's a whole bunch of horses that we just named a couple of them that did not even win these 2 races that are going to be tough to beat and will be top contenders in a couple of about a month from now. And we also hit the bonus race last week, Bishop's Bay. That was a Pratt Cox combo too in that one. Matter of fact, I noticed that John, you also had that pick. That's always nice when I do the bonus pick and then I find out later on that you had the pick. I always look at for your picks, of course. Yeah. So that's always nice. Obviously, if we win them.
Especially when they win.
Especially if they win. And I had a 22-1 shot finish third, so I was a little upset that I didn't get a nice exacta. What did you think? Because this was an inquiry for a few minutes.
Please. That's ridiculous. The horse was clear. He came out a few, but he was clear.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anywhere like...
the problem with Oakland is that the camera angle they give you kind of from the top and like somewhat of a head-on. So it's not like a real pan shot like you get at other tracks. So maybe the angle made it look a lot worse than it was. But, we texted back and forth after, and I kind of made you feel good that they weren't going to take you down.
Yeah, I thought that was on the screen. I mean, everybody saw it. But,
he's clear here. He's a length in front, but he looks like a drunken sailor coming through.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. So,
but a lot of horses do that. You just never see that angle, from the camera shot from the top, I guess. And
that's just basically. I mean, the jockey just has a tough time making sure
he goes. The horse is tired. Pratt was on the winner, so Pratt's not going to ride dirty or something like that.
Sure.
He hit him left-handed and he bore out after getting hit.
I mean, how lucky though, because if it was close.
Yes. Or
he would have been disqualified.
If he made contact, he would have been disqualified. Exactly.
Yeah. And then the 3 would have won. He would have broke his maiden, but
no,
that didn't happen.
That race. Oh, it is that race. No, was that? No, that was a different race. That was your race. Wasn't that your extra race you gave out? That wasn't the race with the 3. Was that?
It was. Yeah.
Oh, that was the race with Sandman?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, let's see, what the points that Publisher, let's see, Publisher, where's Publisher?
He's got like 67.
Yep, so he's got 60. So Publisher, who is he going to break his maiden at the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, in the Derby, maybe. But he's not going to break it before because
how crazy would that be? That's going to be a question. Has that happened before?
There was a maiden that won a Derby. I'm sure if you look it up.
Let us know.
Long time ago.
Yeah,
like in the 50s or 60s, whatever it was. All right, are we ready to get to work?
Yes. So, well, we still have to make sure that we give our viewers their opportunity based on some of their comments this week. And let's see, John Wise, W8R. John makes it very easy in the Arkansas Derby. Sandman with back-to-back 11s. Jose Ortiz is on fire. Good call, John. And then John Wise, once again, W8R. Hi, John and Greg. Like I said, I follow John's analysis of back-to-back numbers. Sandman had back-to-back 11s. I also agreed with John about Pratt sticking around to ride Publisher and the loyal Cole battle. Nice. Win bet $9.80 plus exacta $45 plus triple $40. Another big score with back-to-back numbers from John. I will make a nice thank you dollar signs during your next show. John was also spot on dollar signs with Tapan Street. Please keep the back-to-back numbers coming. P.S. I was told by another horse racing enthusiast that Thoroughbred was before Ragozin. Can John please clarify this issue? Regards from Brooklyn, New York, Johnny Belmont.
I did clarify it. The guy that started Thoroughbred, his name is Jerry Brown. He used to work for Ragozin, and he went out on his own. So Ragozin invented this system or this formula to get these numbers, and this guy, is using them or whatever. Or I guess he tried to redefine them or refine them, I should say. In any case, there's only one set of real numbers, and it's Ragozin's.
Eligie. This is going back to a couple of weeks ago's horse, Tiz Tadic. I forget the name of the horse.
Yeah.
Is my Derby pick this year because I think he's peaking at the right time and finally getting his turf talent to the dirt. Times bit 4465. So this is a question basically for people who want to know the strategies and the reasons of the lingo that we have each week on the sheets. He asks, when do you expect to see a bounce?
When you
I did answer him on the panel, but you might want to give your take, John, to the viewers who may not know.
Well, you want at least 6 weeks off of a prime effort. When a horse runs the best race he's ever run, they're like athletes. Horses are like human athletes. It takes time to recoup and recover. And when you put in a maximum effort, chances are if you run back too soon, you're not going to give your peak performance and you're going to regress and go backwards. So when we say bounce, that's what we're talking about.
Okay. Next one. Mr. Guitar. Yes, CAW will hasten the demise of horse racing. This is definitely a response from when I brought up the whole thing about fixed odds. Racing fans are getting tired seeing the odds at 8-1 when horses are loading. Then after the first call, it drops to 5-2. It's very frustrating.
It's a horrible thing. It's the worst thing in the world. Racetracks are being short-sighted. They think they're getting bigger handle, and people are betting more money by them allowing these people into the pools, but they're chasing away a lot more people than they're chasing away. It's easier to keep an old customer than to find a new customer, and all they're doing is chasing away people. I know plenty of people that have actually given up, so that's not good.
Okay, next up, pick the pros and ponies. Now, this is this was answering the question that we had last week regarding any horse that had ever won the Lexington, which is going to be the last race to get points for the Derby. So pick the pros and ponies. Mentioned that Charismatic for D. Wayne Lucas won the Lexington and the Kentucky Derby. And I'm glad that pick pros and ponies reminded me, because that was the very first time that I picked a Derby winner on my radio show down in South Florida. I was doing a show at the Pete Rose Ballpark Cafe in Boca Raton, and I picked them to win. And obviously, I felt like I knew everything when I came back on Monday. and it was obviously a long shot.
Like $50, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a long shot.
Yeah, I remember. So, and he was actually in a claiming race.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Before he made it to the Derby, it was in for 50,000. Yeah,
it was crazy. Let's see, David Trude. Thanks, great information. So appreciate that, David. Let's see, Roche Anchor, whatever, Rose. Yeah. Forever Young, the best horse in the world, running at Dubai. Romantic Warrior on turf. Dubai Shima Classic is a prestigious race on turf, maybe even better than Ascot. So another viewer that is psyched for the big races at Dubai on Saturday. Let's see. Brian Brothers, agreed before AK Nooney really cared or gave any credence to the Jeff Ruby as a Derby prep, but you can't totally dismiss horses from that race anymore. The game has changed in a variety of ways.
You're going to have an exception to a rule. So I get it. Mage or whoever it is ran there, and okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, trends can always change. So what you're saying, John, is you don't think trends have necessarily changed. You just think it was what, a one-off, or is that what it was?
Again, things happen. Nothing is absolute and one way or the highway. So yes, of course there are exceptions to every rule. And yes, a horse won that race in the past. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Greg Girona. Question for John about the Sheets website. When are the old seminars going to be available? It's been saying they will be released next month for more than a year.
They don't refresh the website, I guess. I don't know, but
Okay.
I posted the phone number. They could call the office and order the tapes. I think they're free, or they'll tell you where to watch them or whatever. So
Garduno, 2011. Great hit. The Florida Derby, John. 9, 10, 1 for the try and 9 to win. Garduno 2011 came back and said, let's go. Took 6 to win and exacta 6-3 in the Arkansas Derby. Crazy fraction set up Sandman perfect. Great Saturday, guys. Bishop's Bay came through for Greg too. Glad they didn't take him down on the objection. Looking forward to the big Saturday next week. Nesto Morellero, great pick. Tappan Street. And Rocha Cozy. John knows his horses. And Ricky NYC 69. Jay Hardoon nails them again, sharpening up for the Triple Crown. So there you go. That's our comments from last week. Keep them coming. We love the comments, the questions as well, because I do my best to continue to be educated with what's going on in the industry. I know I get some people that they wonder from time to time. They'll ask questions or say things like, "How do you not know this?" Matter of fact, I had someone on Twitter. I forget where I put that. Yeah, we had a Twitter, because obviously I tweet out everything, and we had someone that responded on Twitter. Let's see if I have it here. And he made a comment regarding something like, why didn't I know something? I forget what it was.
Was it a mile and 3/16 or whatever?
No, it wasn't that one. And it was something else. And I just said to him, that's because I'm not the expert. John is. So anyways, I'm just saying the point is that a lot of people, especially new viewers, they have to catch up to the fact that even though I'm picking races, I'm not the expert. John is. So if I don't know stuff, trust me, I'm trying to find out every day or every week on the show, and hopefully you'll learn along with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these 3 races in the books. We've got points races, big points up for grabs for the Derby. One more left. That's the Lexington, as I mentioned. So let's get into it. First of all, with the race that will be first on Saturday, the Wood Memorial should go off about 6:10. So let's see. I had the let me see if I could post this up here. And while I think I have the form. While I do that, I'm just going to mention, John, that the morning line favorite in this race is the 7 Grande, a 7-2 shot.
No, the 2 is 5-2, isn't he?
Who's that?
Cook.
Captain Cook's 4-1.
Oh, I have different odds. Okay.
Yeah, well, remember I took the odds from one of the.
Okay, whatever.
Remember that? Maybe I don't know if they've changed or not, but
let me go check.
I don't think they should change, but
I'll check for you.
Yeah, check, because I want to make sure I have the right odds.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's start. First of all, let's keep this in mind too. We just talked about the change at Keeneland. The other thing to keep in mind is that there's going to be rain on Friday in New York, as you know, John, you're there, and then they're also expecting light rain on Saturday.
Not light. They're expecting real rain Friday and Saturday. So let's see what happens. They're going to obviously have the track sealed and try to keep the water out of it. But if it's going to start on Friday, I would assume that Saturday will probably be sloppy as well.
All right. So we're going to have to take that into account. But this might actually, I know there's one of these races that a lot of all of the look at these damn ads. All the horses do not have any experience on the conditions. This is terrible.
Okay. Well,
because the lightly race horses. Yeah. Okay, maybe that helped. All right, so let's start. Hold on, I got the wrong one. Let's start with, where are we? Where did it go? Well, I don't know where it went. Anyway, probably disappeared because I just X'd it out. This is what happens. You get these stupid ads. All right. This is the Wood Memorial. We'll start with Rodriguez, John. And Rodriguez is a 4-1 shot. And just let me know if I'm if any of these odds are off.
Well, I can't find the one that's still not up on Brisnet. It's amazing.
Really? They don't even have it available on Brisnet yet?
No.
Wow. I had it right here. I'm going to put it back up. I just X'd it out because of the ads. So let me just get it back up here. In the meantime,
you see, they had River Thames. Oh, wait, where are we going?
We're going to start with Wood Memorial. Yeah, don't look at that. That's up there because I'm setting it up for the next race.
No problem.
But the Wood Memorial, see, this is what happens when we have to get all these things up there for you. All right, here we go. All right, now I'm going to deal with because I'm dealing with
people that are in the room. For some reason, I'm trying to reply to you guys, and I can't. I'm not hooked up to do that. So, it's not that I'm being rude or avoiding your comments, but thank you for them, and I guess I'll do it after the show.
Well, here.
Okay.
Curtis Clark. I guess you know Curtis.
No, I don't know Curtis. Hello,
okay.
Curtis.
I agree with a comment you made last week. You need to read between the lines, and you're correct when the odds drop. It's very frustrating. That's Curtis. And let's see. Chris Antley. What was that about?
He was a great jockey who had serious demons. He had a lot of problems off the track, and he died at way too early an age.
And why did they bring him up?
He rode, I think, the horse that you had, your Derby winner, Charismatic. I think he was ridden by Chris Antley.
Oh, okay. That's right. Got it. By the way, unless I can find a site that's not going to pop up 5,000 ads, I'm not going to post it.
All right. So go ahead.
And then let's see. Also from Curtis Clark, the Ant-Man. Not sure who the Ant-Man is.
Antley, Chris Antley.
Oh, it's the same thing.
That was his nickname.
All right, so here we go. Let's go through it. Rodriguez. What do you like about Rodriguez, John? He's a 4-1 shot. He ran an 8 in January. Since then, back-to-back 12s. He's coming over from California. He hasn't raced outside of California yet. The thing I see here, correct me if I'm wrong, is his best race. The 8 happened when he had Lasix. He has not had Lasix since.
I'm impressed.
Those last 2 were 12s. Throw in the fact that he's coming across the country. Yeah, I don't like there's something about this horse I'm not really that excited about.
Well, first of all, it's Baffert, who's automatically going to get overbet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Baffert. So keep that in mind. But the problem with this horse is that I'm trying to find the sheet. I think he had a good number. What was his numbers?
It was 10, 8, 12, 12.
10, 8. 12, 12. Yeah, the last race should have been a forward move off of the 12, closer to somewhere where the 8 was, and it wasn't. So for that reason, I was a little negative. Not only that, I think the price will be shorter than we think, and he's also going to stretching out to 1 1/8 for the first time. So for those reasons, I was against him.
Okay, the 2 is Captain Cook, and Captain Cook also, I believe, at 4-1, and his line looks much better. He's improving each race, 17, 14, 10. So he does have a 4-point new top, but what we like about it is that was February 1st, so he's had more than enough time to recoup. It's been a couple of months. What was also good about Captain Cook, as you can see here, he's had 1 race on the slop. He won the race. That is a lot better than a lot of these other horses who have not raced on the slop before. Dutro's 2 for 2 since taking over. He's also got the 2 wins at Aqueduct. Yeah, Captain Cook is probably going to be my top pick. What about you?
Yeah, he's my top pick as well. Listen, lightly raced, 3 for 3. I mean, 2 for 2 for Dutro, and now he's stretching out back to 1 1/8, what he won at last time. So he's won at the distance. He's won over the track. And like you said, he certainly likes an off track. I would assume he's ready to run a new top with the time off. And in my opinion, he's the horse to beat.
All right, let's go with the 3. And the 3 is Tiger 24, a 15-1 shot that had a big jump from the first to the second race, 22-13. So he predictably bounced to a 17, but he just looks a little slow. I mean, if you want to get lucky, you throw him in there. He's 15-1. He got Mott and Castellano. I mean, maybe he comes back from that 13 and improves upon that, but I don't know if that's even going to be good enough if he has a new top to hit the board.
Now, you have a lot of horses that are just as long in price, so certainly a couple of others that look a lot better that are even, longer prices than him. He didn't make the cut for me.
My Matoli, or my Matol, is a 20-1 shot. Now, Carlos Martin had a nice little meet so far. And this is a horse that's pretty interesting. I like this as a long shot. If you look at his line, he went 21, 19, 14, 13. So that's an excellent line, all at Aqueduct. Then in the Gotham, he goes backwards for the first time. But what I noticed when he went backwards for the first time is that was a short break. He only had a couple of weeks. That's something that he hadn't gone through before. It was also without Lasix. So that's something, considering the 13 was with Lasix and that one was without. Now you're saying, well, there's no Lasix here, but he is 20-1. And I'm looking at a horse that at least, and I know he hasn't gone the distance yet, has had the 5 weeks off. And I think because of that, the 20-1 number, I'm gonna roll the dice that maybe he hits the board.
I agree with every single word you said, and I'm also using this horse. The only problem is Matoli's probably aren't going to be able to get a 1 1/8. He's really not bred to go that far.
Okay.
But listen, the horse is 20-1. He has a 14 as a 2-year-old. The 13 2 starts back was good, and only a 2-point bounce without any time off and coming off of Lasix. This horse is set to run a new top. He belongs in your tries or supers somewhere for sure.
Now, what does this mean? Because I was looking at I wanted to see where he was, and I noticed this. When you're not nominated, like, what does that mean?
Well, when horses are born or when they're younger, you pay nominations to get into stake races, and you could pay early or you could pay late. If you pay late and you don't pay the dues before, well, then it costs you more money. Either they didn't think much of the horse, they were looking to save money. They nominated this horse to get in. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm just, because of the fact that it's the Derby points chart, having the not nominated by him, I don't understand, like, why not name it for what, the Derby?
Yeah, he was never nominated for the Derby, so.
But that doesn't like he just, what does that mean, that like if he qualifies for the Derby, he's got to put up money or something because he didn't do it before?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So next up, let's go with the 5, Sand Devil, an 8-1 shot. Linda Rice having a nice meet as usual. And this horse is going the opposite way a little bit. And you can see it's also happened after the Lasix 10. He had a Lasix 10, all 4 at Aqueduct, so that's good. But he had a couple of 10s, and the last 2 races are 12 and 14. So he's going the opposite direction. And she's going to see if Sand Devil can actually go a distance that he hasn't hit yet. I don't know. What do you think about Sand Devil at 8-1?
I don't like this horse at 8-1. Again, you have better options at longer prices.
Okay. Get that off the screen. Next up is Hill Road, a 6-1 shot. I'm a little bit surprised the horse is only 6-1. You got back-to-back 13s since coming to America, so that's just okay. This is a closer. Chad Brown is training. Maybe that's the big reason, along with Joel Rosario. But yeah, this horse has just 1 win out of 4, back-to-back 13s. I don't know why he's 6-1.
Well, he's 6-1 because last time was his first start for Chad Brown. He ran a 13 as a 2-year-old for a European trainer. I guess when they left, he was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile race for 2 years.
He was a long shot in that race, yeah, and he did pretty good.
First of all, he was never on the dirt before that race. His races 2 prior were both on grass in wherever, on the other side of the world. So Chad Brown took over the training last time out. He ran the 13 minus. He does have a shot to make a forward move, but he just doesn't offer much value. But again, if he made a forward move, it would be no surprise. But you need you're looking for some value to go along with the 2 horse.
Yeah, I mean, so we would have expected better number than 13 in the last race, right?
Well, now he's ready to run an 11 off of that line. But yes, I would have
Okay.
expected that. But listen, it was his first race as a 3-year-old. It was his first race since last November, the Breeders' Cup. So I understand it was the Tampa Bay Derby, but he gave him a shot.
Anthony likes the 6.
Okay.
By the way, Siga Mendoza Racing. Did he bring this up for a particular reason? Because he learned this from you, John.
What was that?
1-turn horses are live in route races at Tampa.
Yeah, but now they're not at Tampa, and it's
That's
not
what I'm saying.
It's not 1 turn either. It's 2
Okay.
turn.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was about, but maybe he could explain further. Okay, so anyway, Anthony likes the 6. Good luck, Anthony. Next up, Grande. The 7 is a 7-2 shot, and again, it's possible he's the morning line favorite. Dylan Davis, Pletcher combo, ran a 15, then an 11. So that's a really nice start to his career after 2 races, changing from Velasquez to Dylan Davis here. But it is possible, maybe more than likely, we might see a bounce here. Especially the big thing that really sticks out is the first 2 races of his career were on Lasix.
Yes, but the last race was a distance race. It was 1 1/8 miles, the same distance, but you're right. It was on Lasix, but he's lightly raced. It's a total guess what he's going to do. He could repeat, he could go forward, or he could react.
That's the thing. I don't want to guess at 7-2.
Exactly. You could guess that on a 15-1 shot or a 20-1 shot. So if you're wrong, you're wrong, but at least you went down swinging with a price. That's not the case here. So,
all right. Passion Rules. The 8 is 8-1. Cox. This is another one of his horses. Ran a 14 to start his career. By the way, what is MOC 50,000?
What do you see MOC? Oh,
race type.
Maiden optional claiming race.
Maiden optional claim. All right, I've never seen that before. Okay. All right, so we ran a 14 in that race, then an 11. That's nice, first 2 races. But then the third race, again, which we might see from Grande, was coming back a little bit to a 13, which is not totally bad because the horse won. He's 3 for 3. And in that race, was the little predictable bounce. But only has 3 weeks off now, John, and also without Lasix for the first time.
What's the price on him?
8-1, so better than Grande.
Yeah, it's better than Grande. Listen, it's Brad Cox. The horse is 3 for 3. He's never done anything wrong.
Yes.
But like you said, the problem with this horse is if you look at a sheet, he's always in trouble. You see W win the race, V extremely wide, S got left at the gate, T trouble, and F he was cut off at the start. So his last 2 races, he had all kinds of trouble. It's the kind of horse that just that finds trouble. He's been unlucky. He's not impossible, but he would have to be a price.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. 8-1 should be the low bar.
Yeah, I wouldn't take anything less than 8-1. That's for sure.
And then we also have Bear Claw Necklace, a 30-1 shot that has improved all 3 races. Unfortunately, not fast enough. 17 is his best.
Joseph and no Safi Joseph, no chance.
Another 30-1 shot is McAfee, also very slow.
Yes, doesn't belong.
The 11 is Statesman, a 15-1 shot. This one's faster. Last year, no good. This year, at Tampa, a 10 and a 13, both wins. What do you think about Statesman?
Well, Statesman ran the 10 this year when getting Lasix for the first time. So you talk about horses that look like a Lasix pop, that's it. He was running 25s as a 2-year-old at 21, comes out as a 3-year-old, gets Lasix, and right away makes that big jump. And his last race, he started to tail off also on Lasix. I don't like this horse.
And Omaha could be an interesting long shot. Omaha was a 20-1. And the reason I just say that is because his best race happened to be on an off track. Had a 13 last November.
Yeah.
And and it's a closer as well. So, long shot closers aren't bad if you get the pace you're looking for. Anyway, he had back-to-back 13s. Didn't really improve upon that, unfortunately, in his last 2 races. But again, that's why you're getting 20-1. And considering I'm taking one of the favorites, Captain Cook, that's going to be one of the 3 long shots I'm going to take.
Okay. I mean, I could see it. He's not impossible, but he's a little slower. And listen, you're getting 30-1. So I would never argue with anyone that wants to play a price horse. I like the 2, Captain Cook. He's going to be my top selection. Let's play exactas with number 4, My Matoli, number 6, Hill Road, and number 7. Who's number? Oh, number 7, Grande. Yeah, okay. That's what I got. 2 with 4, 6, 7, over and out.
Okay, and I'm also doing the 2 and the 4, and I'm also adding the 8 and the 12.
2, 4, 8, 12 for Greg.
So there you go. That is our first race in the books, the Bluegrass, the Toyota Bluegrass, because that's been a sponsor for quite a long time. I don't think I remember the Bluegrass without the Toyota Bluegrass.
Are we doing Keelan next or
Santa Anita?
All right, so
Santa Anita is next. So Anthony, by the way, who likes the 6, John puts him in his exacta, in his numbers there. So
I put him in my numbers.
Well, I'm just coming up with weird shit.
Oh,
So,
okay.
all right. Next, now go to this. By the way, this is a race where the points are going to be reduced.
Yes, well, they should be reduced. It's a 5-horse field. This is the dumbest race in the world. If you really want to know the truth, how I feel about it. First of all, if you own a horse and you're running him in this race, fine. You know, it's $1 million or $500,000 race, but your horse gets nothing out of a 5-horse field when he has to go into a derby in a month from now in a 20-horse field. Not one horse in this race will be battle tested. They run in short fields. All of a sudden, they go from a 5-horse field to a 20-horse field. It's got to be a culture shock to them, I think.
Yeah. So let's start with, by the way, the 1 happens to be where we start off as the morning line favorite, 6-5, Journalism. This race is going to go off about 7:30 Eastern time. So that's a little late for us Easterners on Saturday night. And it's interesting with the 5 horses, you've got 2 Baffert horses, 2 Sheriff's horses, and the morning line favorite.
And the favorite trained by someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay,
And,
so here's the interesting thing about the favorite. We talked about it last week with Trainer's Intent. Journalism is already in the Derby. Journalism is coming off
and
of
so
a
is
fall.
Citizens Bowl. Mm-hmm.
Right. But Journalism is coming off of a 5, and he doesn't have to be squeezed for this race. But it's only a 5-horse field, so he could just do it on his own.
Yeah.
It's just a silly kind of. I want to play against him at a short price. I kind of like Jeff's horse here, Barnes. And when we get to him, we'll talk about the reason. Who has points in this race?
Well, Journalism and Citizen Bull are in.
How many
Barnes,
points do they have? They have 60 or 70
60.
points?
Citizens Bull is 60. He's 9th in the standings. And Journalism, 47.5. He's got 4. He's in 14th.
Okay.
So he's not exactly.
Who's in 14th? Yeah, he's no lock if he's
Journalism.
Journalism's only in 14th? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's going to hit the board here, so he's going to get another 10 or 20.
Half the points, though.
I'm sorry?
Half the points, though.
Yeah, but if he happens to win, it's still 70 or 65 points. What is it, 75 points for the win?
For second?
For winning.
Oh, for winning. Let me see what they have here. Let's see. No, I don't want the initial ones.
It's 75 points.
Here we go. It's right up here. Santa Anita, first for 75. Second is 37.5. So that's cut in half, though, to what? So that means 37.5 becomes like 20. 18.
What is that what it is?
Well, if it's cut in half, isn't that what they're telling us?
37 was already cut in half. No?
Oh, maybe it is. Let me see. Let me see if they've done that already. What does this thing say? I don't know. I thought that was a thing that. Oh, wait. Thank you. Here we go. Let's see. Since only 5 horses entered the Derby for 3/4, I don't know. That's possible. That looks like that's the case because look, it says first 100.
50, so they loaded to 37.
Yeah, that's already been low. Yeah, so it looks like that's
getting in. I mean, either one of those are getting in.
And even if he finishes in third, that's 18 points, and that'll be enough.
By the way, he ran the fastest number of any of these horses coming into the Derby. No one else has run a 5 yet. Journalism's the only one that has.
I'm really impressed with that horse.
You should be. He's kind of like who was the horse that ran second in the Florida Derby last week? Has never done anything wrong. The horse that ran
Sovereignty.
Yeah, Sovereignty. Their sheets look kind of similar. One ran a 7. This one ran a 5 last time out. But they are at this point better than the rest of them.
What about? I've never heard of. I'm not saying Michael McCarthy isn't a good trainer. I've
He's
never heard him like in the big races. Has he
well,
ever?
yes, yes,
Has he
yes.
ever had a Derby
No, because
Triple Crown horse?
he's only been out on his own for I don't know a few. He worked for Pletcher for many years. He went out
Okay.
on his own, and in Southern California, he's a main player.
Okay.
Major.
So he's a guy that if he wins the Derby, he's going to be considered like the next
no,
big
he'll
shot.
be one. He is the next big shot coming. Believe
Well,
me.
you got to win a big race though.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So there you
Well,
go.
how many derbies did Asmussen win? And he's a big shot.
Yeah, that's
just
no,
mentioning it. So.
no. Yeah. Not Derby. It's got to be Triple Crown race, Breeders' Cup race. Doesn't have to be the Derby. All right. So anyway, journalism.
I'm sure he's won Breeders' Cup races. That you could take to the bank.
That's true. In that race, by the way, where he beat Barnes into San Felipe and he got the 5. It's funny because Barnes is the 2 to 5 favorite. Everybody's expecting him to win. He's in the lead, and journalism just, even though we're stalking him, nobody's really expecting anything. And, Barnes comes down, and all of a sudden journalism just passes him like if it's nothing.
Well, not so fast. It was also Barnes's first time around 2 turns. Okay. And you see, here's the problem. Citizen Bull, trained by Baffert, is a speed horse. Barnes, trained by Baffert, is a speed horse. There's only 5 horses in the race.
Yep.
Do you really think they're going to go after each other? No. Who needs the points?
Barnes.
Exactly. That's why I agree with Jeff, and I like Barnes as my top selection here, believe it or not.
So that means you think when it comes to who he wants in the front, he's going to want Barnes. He's going to let Barnes get ahead of Citizen Bull.
I don't know what's going to be. I really don't. I know they paid $3.5 million for Barnes. So
that's true.
He's highly regarded. Listen, both of those owners are big, powerful owners, and he has, a lot. I don't know what to do. If I was Baffert, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking journalism. Anyway.
But if you really think that Citizen Bull and Barnes are going to kill each other, well, then you
I don't.
Something else to do because that's not happening.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So So the thing though with Citizen Bull is that really sticks out. As good as the horse is, he's never run a single digit.
Well, if he's going to run one, it's coming up because he ran a 10 as a 2-year-old. He ran a 10 as a 3-year-old. It's time for an 8. But. And he also ran an 11 first out last year at Del Mar, so he has
that's
the
real impressive
to run any number.
Yep.
And
he's got the wins. He's got the 2 Grade 1 wins, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah, well, but even in that race, if you remember that race, the way it developed, the main competition in the race, Furiously and some other horse, they missed the break, and he found himself on a lonely lead with another Baffert horse tracking him, and that Baffert horse didn't go after him because the same thing's going to happen on Saturday. They're not going to kill each other, these horses. So, it's a 5-horse race, and I hate to tell you, the other race in New York is 100 times easier than this race. And that race has 12 horses in it or whatever.
Okay. Westwood is a long shot at 20 to 1. It has no chance.
He's slow.
And Baeza, the 5 horse at 6 to 1. Now, the numbers are nice this year, 10 and 9. That's what you want to see. But he'll be coming off Lasix, and he ran those fast numbers. He's only raced 3 times, but he ran those fast numbers on Lasix. He's off Lasix now. So what do you think about Baeza?
He's also going further than he's gone before because his last 2 races were both at a mile, and Saturday's race is a mile and an 1/8. Listen, it's a 5-horse field. How many horses could you use? So.
Yeah. It's nice that he's 10-9, but yeah, there's just some really good ones here. All right. So if you think about it just that way, if you're thinking about, all right, well, I'm going to try to get into the mind of the trainer, and journalism and Citizen Bull are in the Derby, then Barnes does seem like the logical way to go, but that's also a guess that's the way it's going to work out. So
does Barnes have any points? Well, he ran second.
Yeah, he's got 18.75.
All right, so I'm going the 4 Barnes over the 1 journalism, and I'm going to use 4 over 1 and 5. That's all. 4 over 1
5.
and 5. I'm
Okay.
throwing out Citizen Bull. I don't even know why, to be honest with you.
What do you think the favorite? What do you think the number is going to be?
Journalism, the price on the
If he
board,
goes off the favorite, yeah.
will be 4 to 5 or 3 to 5, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just doing the 1 to win. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
So, if I was like a hot shot like Jim Feist, who's my partner here on the channel, who can wager on, big money, I do that, but I don't, so I won't. All right, next we're gonna wrap it up with the bluegrass.
I want to change it. I'm going to go 4. I'm going 4 with 1 and 2. I'm throwing that. I'm sorry.
4 with 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, maybe you have the right idea. Just make a win bid, and then you don't have to be.
Yeah.
It's a 5-horse field. If I can't hit an exact in a 5-horse field, I should
with the 3 best horses.
Yeah, I should find something else to do.
4
with 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, you can't lose with those 3. Yeah. I mean,
well, you can.
You just got to get 4 atop, obviously.
Yeah.
Is the way to go though, like a trifecta then?
No, can't pay anything. No.
But isn't it better than trying to make money off of?
No, that's why if you really get like 6, 2 to 1 or 5 to 2 on Barnes, maybe you just take the win bet.
Yeah, I mean, you should get 5 to 2 on Barnes, right?
I would think. Yeah. Not only that, the clockers say that he's been outworked by other horses.
Oh.
So who knows all the nonsense, the stories, what's true and what's not true. So I don't know.
Now I see why everybody was talking about him, because of all the money that was put into him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you recall, his first race he ever ran in his life was at Churchill Downs. Baffert shipped him there the day that they gave him his license back and everything. And he shipped this horse there, and he was like giving them a preview of who he's bringing him back for the Derby. And he wanted to stick it to him.
Very nice.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. The horse won, and
so
everything.
Barnes is the ultimate Bob Baffert fuck you horse for the Derby.
I guess.
So out of all the horses he might have in the Derby, and he'll probably have a few.
Doesn't matter who he has. Just him getting to the Derby, he wants to tell him to go to hell. So the torture they put him through. So whatever.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who were going to bet that way too. So his horses are going to be really shortly priced, and that's take advantage of it if you like the other horses. Okay, so now we're going to wrap it up with the that was the Santa Anita. I got these.
We're going to the Bluegrass on Tuesday.
We're going with the Tuesday race. So let me let's see. This one we did the Wood first. I got to change these Wood and Santa Anita and Bluegrass. Okay, so we've got the race that'll go off on Tuesday, close to 6 o'clock, and the morning line favorite is the 1 River Thames.
By the way, they only got 7 horses for this race. Also, that's the problem when you run all these same races on the same day. They were supposed to be run on the same day. If you had only that one track, you'd have a whole race with a lot more. Can't they combine? Wouldn't it be nice if they could combine the Santa Anita Derby and this
would,
and get a nice field of 12?
Yes, it would be.
Great betting opportunities, but no, they do it their way.
But they could have also had the previous 2 weeks could have been
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, having 5-horse fields for races like this,
no good.
No,
but I don't remember this. I don't remember going to these 3 races and having one with 7 and one with 5.
Well, Santa Anita, but not Bluegrass. Usually gets more horses.
All right. So in this one, by the way, again, I mentioned the morning line favorite is River Thames. The 4 is the only horse that's in the Derby. That's Owen Almighty. He's got 65 points, and he's 8th right now. So the one
by the way, if you remember, they were talking about running Owen Almighty in the Pat Day Mile because that's what the trainer wanted.
Oh, that's right. This is the one that changed his mind.
Right, and the owner went and got Derby fever, which is certainly understandable.
Oh, this is the one we hit.
Yes.
The Tampa Bay Derby. Okay.
You got a lot of our old friends in this race. You got Owen Almighty, you got East Avenue, you got Chancellor McPatrick, and you got Admiral Dennis. All of them have, and even Burnham Square has been played by us somewhere along the last
that is
year.
True. And so, so that's the only one in. The other ones that need to get in, which means a couple of them are not, are the River Thames.
How many points does he have? Because he ran second.
25.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah.
No, he's in 27th place. The 3, Burnham Square, only has 30 points.
So this is really an important race.
Oh, yeah. And then comes the 5, East Avenue, who only has 10 points. And the 6 is Chancer McPatrick that has 35 points.
Okay.
So 2 of those horses are not getting in the Derby, more than likely.
Yeah, I agree.
But you never know. I mean, if they go 1, 2, 3.
How many does Burnham Square have?
Just 30.
Okay.
So,
and this is 100 points, even though there are only 7, right?
It didn't say anything about this one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's go through the field here. And, this is the race I was saying that there was rain expected, and none of the horses in the field has ever had to race on an off track.
By the way, if they really get 9 inches between Friday and Saturday, chances are, well, I guess by Tuesday there's a chance it'll dry out, but that's a lot of rain.
Yeah, and that's why Anthony, by the way, because Anthony wanted to know, and if you're just tuning into the show, Anthony asked the question, and there you go. It's going to be pretty bad rain on, it's going to be rain on Saturday. So the good thing is that we don't have to worry about that now since it's on Tuesday. Did you check to see whether or not there's just casual rain on Tuesday, John?
No, I did not check.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's shame on you. But I'll try to see if I can find this while we do this. Because if it doesn't rain and there's no rain in the forecast, then at least that's a good thing. Because if they would have stayed on Saturday with regular thunderstorms or rain, then we would have been in a bad situation here. With none of these horses having experience in an off track.
Not only that, they had turf races scheduled, stake turf races for both Friday and Saturday, and so they would not have been able to run on the rain, on the grass in the rain. That's for sure.
Let's see, Lexington on Tuesday. It'll be good. Partly cloudy.
Okay.
So there you go. It'll be 46 degrees, by the way. They would have been racing at 70 degrees on Saturday, but now it's going to be 46 on Tuesday. 46. Does that make a difference much?
46 and dry is better than 70 and wet.
Yeah,
let's put it that way.
Definitely. Okay, let's now go through the field, starting with the 1, River Thames, the 5-2 shot, the favorite, the morning line favorite. First time on a new track, all Goldstream Park, 12-11-8. That's an excellent line. Ran second in the Fountain of Youth to Sovereignty, which was a really good race because Sovereignty passed him late.
Ran second last week.
Yep, that was very late when he passed him. But this seems like, a good horse. Todd Pletcher, Ira Ortiz Jr., by the way, on board for the first time.
Yeah, listen, the horse has done nothing wrong. The only thing I don't like is the price, but the horse only has a chance.
Okay, and next up, we've got Render Judgment, one of the long shots. These numbers are just way too slow.
I don't like this horse.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything wrong. It's just that he's too slow. Okay, Burnham Square. Now, Burnham Square had the big race at Holy Bull. It was a really impressive win in that one. Actually, overtook Tappan Street down the stretch. And, of course, we just saw what happened at Tappan Street. But then in the Fountain of Youth, something was like missing. Even though his number got better, he's gone 18, 15, 10, 9, 8. So he just keeps getting better. But in that Fountain of Youth, because I had him in that race, that was my top pick in that race. He just said nothing down the stretch. It just did not trigger. And so anyway, but you're getting 4-1 here.
How many points does he have?
30.
And what's the price?
4-1.
Yeah, this is my top selection in this.
There you go.
Yep.
I agree. That's definitely it's the way to go in my mind, as long as you still get 4-1, of course. Anyway,
you'll get 4-1. Well, maybe. I mean, he went off the favorite last week against Sovereignty, so maybe he won't.
Yeah.
But people forget in a hurry in this game. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I like this horse. I really do. I mean, I think he's very strong.
Yeah, that line is really nice. And again, getting beat by Tappan Street is nothing to be embarrassed about. Okay. Owen Almighty is the 4 horse at 3-1. And again, this is the only horse in the field that doesn't need the race. He's going to go to the Derby. He went wire to wire in the Tampa Bay Derby in his last start. And he had a very slow pace, which was perfect for any pace setter.
He was on the lead. That's what made it perfect. We loved this horse last time I mean,
Oh, it was awesome, that trip.
yeah, yeah.
That's one of those races you don't get enough of
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're handicapping races, especially big races where you're like, hey, I've got the lead and I'm coasting. I'm
Right.
coasting all the way to victory. But anyway, by the way, he battled in that the race prior with John Hancock. That was a really good battle. And then John Hancock wound up beating him. But anyway, Owen Almighty, 3 straight 9s this year, but he doesn't need the race. Next up is East Avenue. Now, this is the one where
do I get to comment on Owen Almighty? I don't like this horse. It's a flat line. He didn't get better in either one of his last 2 races, and he's 3-1. So for that reason, I would play against him.
Yeah, he's 3-1. Like you said, is not moving up as far as his numbers, and he doesn't need the race.
Right.
So there's several things that work against him. That's the thing I'd be worried about with the line on Saturday or Tuesday, is that maybe others will see that too, and his odds go up, and then Burnham Square's odds go down.
Okay, so I'm sure they will, but not
everyone
handicaps like we do. So
and East Avenue. Now, this is the one I have never, in all of my years of looking at these numbers with you, in a big race, have seen a horse go 13-12, which is nice, 19-19, and the results are 9th and 10th, and he's 3-1.
Well, he was also one of the choices in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile 2 starts back. What did he go off that day?
Yeah, he was the favorite. Yeah,
okay,
he went off at almost 2-1.
You're betting him off his first 2 races. If you bet him in either one of his last 2 races, especially the last race, because the race when he bounced off the 12, he had big trouble. If you remember at the start of that race, he came out of the gate and almost fell on his face. So I'm excusing the first 19 off the 12, but the last 19, that's the problem. He was training so well, and they were all excited. They bet him down to 4-5, and he got beat 22 lengths.
And he was there in position. He was in second place.
Around the turn, it looked like he was going to swallow them, and he backed through the field. I wouldn't bet 5 cents on this horse. Again, he could win because of his first 2 races. I get it. But until he shows some sort of sign of life, you got to be crazy to bet this horse at 3-1. No,
yeah, that's the thing right there. The 3-1. He's the only horse in the field that's got to win at Keeneland, but that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, that's when he was a better horse.
Yeah,
in his second lifetime start. Maybe he absolutely loves the track and will revert back to his
old odds way. Would you like with East Avenue?
I wouldn't bet East Avenue anything under 10-1. I really wouldn't. And even 10-1 is, I don't even know if I would want him at that point, because there are other horses in this race that are going to run the 8 or 9. So let's assume that this horse goes back to the 12. It's still not going to be good enough.
No, he's going to have to run a new top.
I don't know. I'd change that. I'd make it 15-1. Right?
Yeah. He's going to have to run a new top, and he's going to have to beat two other horses that need the win. So good ones.
Yeah.
That are in form.
Yes.
All right. Here's one of them, and 3 of them, not 2.
By the way, they're making a blinker change, so it's kind of like a desperate move.
Blinkers on
East Avenue. All of a sudden, he needs blinkers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's got to be it's the blinkers. That's what it is.
Blinkers. That's what it was.
Chancer McPatrick, 7-2. Pratt and Chad Brown. And this is, I like this horse too. You've got a horse that is coming off a 10. He really hasn't done much wrong. I mean, the 15, that's okay. But
how many points does he have? How many points?
It's just 35.
Okay.
So he also has to do well here. Now, if you look at the Derby race, the one that we won with Owen Almighty, this is like the exact opposite situation that worked against him, because this is a stalker closer type. And you don't want the pace to be as slow.
Yeah, they were walking. He had no pace
yeah.
to close into. So you could give him, a do-over for that.
Yeah.
Pace. And he does have 9s as a 2-year-old.
Yep.
And
he's got Pratt and Brown.
Yeah, I just really think he's better at one turn. I think he's going to be a terrific horse around one turn. That 9 that he ran at Aqueduct 3 races back was at Aqueduct. It's 1 mile. you know, his the 13 was 2 turns at Del Mar. The 10 last time out was 2 turns at Tampa. But you made a good point. The pace was just too slow. So for that reason, it's Chad Brown. And I don't like a lot of horses in this race. I would end up using this horse underneath.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the 3 and the 6.
Yeah.
And then the 7 is Admiral Dennis. Now, Admiral Dennis, so you did this horse before?
Admiral Dennis, I think we did somewhere. He didn't run well the day I liked him.
Maybe that was the Rebel then.
Yeah, must have been.
Anyway, he's 20-1. You got Cox again with Saez. You got the Cox 20-1 factor. You got to keep an eye on that. Anyway, he ran an 11 in his second race, which was awesome. But then he bounced to a 17, which was predictable. The next race was a 13, so he went back the way you wanted. But it was the Rebel, which is probably why we did take him, because that we were expecting him to keep getting better, and he had a bad race.
Yeah, and he was also off of Lasix that day, which was fine. But I don't like this horse in this spot. You know, either one of his last 2 races should have been somewhere near that 11 that he ran as a 2-year-old, and they weren't. So for that, and it's Brad Cox. His horses get better. They don't get worse. This one got worse.
All right, John. So you are going to do Burnham Square.
The 3 Burnham Square over the 1 River Thames and over the 6 Chance of McPatrick. 3 over 1 and 6.
Okay. And I am going to do the 3 over the 6 and the 7.
There is no. You're using Admiral Dennis. All right.
Yeah, it's Cox at 20-1, baby.
Yeah, that's your rule. Lucas at 20-1, Cox at 20-1, Baffert at
put him in the exactas.
Baffert at 200-1.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are the 3 for 2 Saturday, 1 Tuesday, and let's see if we have any more. Let's see. What do we have here? We've got Richard Harris. No picks for Dubai. So do you do picks for Dubai? No, you don't do picks for Dubai, right, John?
No.
All right.
They got 20 horses in a race. You can't watch your horse. It's a pain in the ass. You got enough racetracks and races to bet. You don't have to play Dubai. It's probably a good track to watch. You know, that Forever Young is running there. And so there are some terrific horses that you'd like to see, but whatever.
And he wants to know if Chad is. Chad probably. I think Chad moved to Dubai. Actually, maybe he brought Cyclone State with him.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, best of luck. I think Chad has a horse in a considerably big race coming up. I saw that following his trainer deal. Let's see. Richard Harris also wanted to say, "Good to see you guys streaming live." So good to do it live.
Do this more often.
Yeah.
You don't do it every week. What's the difference?
Yes. And we could see we've got about 50 people that are watching live, which is awesome. And obviously anybody out there that happened to miss it, we will be doing this again. The best way to make sure that you don't ever miss one of our live broadcasts is to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well, so you can get notified just in case you had no idea we were going live. And also don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it just anyway, just so you can make sure that you never miss one of our videos. And we'll have links in the description, by the way, for everything, including John's packages, how to follow trainers. I don't know. Maybe I'll even throw in links to how to follow the points for the Derby and all sorts of cool stuff. So, John, appreciate your time as always. And next week, when's it Lexington? Is that in 2 weeks?
I guess. Yeah. Not going to be 4 days after the Bluegrass, is it?
Yeah, oh, that's right. This whole thing. Let's see. Next week we have, by the way, Keeneland, unless they change their schedule. So they're probably not going to. Do they race 7 days a week?
Keeneland? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So they'll get caught up by next week.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would assume.
Okay. Because they have a grade 1 on Friday. And then on Saturday, Keeneland has the grade 1 Jenny Wiley and the Lexington Stakes. So chances are those are the 2 races we'll do next week. There's also the grade 1 Apple Blossom in Oaklawn. Maybe that'll be my bonus race. We'll have to take a look at it. And then in a couple of weeks, there's some more decent races. And then that's it. Then there's I think after that, then I think there's a 1 week off before the Derby. So, by the way, John, we're going to book John for here on Proline TV for our weekly you can call it our signature show for the channel. That's when we have all our top handicappers on each week. The two owners, Mark Lawrence, Jim Feist. So we're going to book Jon for that show in the next couple of weeks. Have him, educate our general handicappers on what's going on with the Kentucky Derby. So don't forget to keep an eye on that. And I'll remind everybody when that's on. And then we're going to have Jim Feist on this show because Jim told me that he actually used to own horses years ago. So we're going to get Jim Feist on this show, and I'm probably going to book him for the week before the Derby because it'll be a little bit slower, and that'll give us a little extra time that we can hook up with Jim, and maybe that'll be a time that we'll do another live show. So, Jon, appreciate your time.
Thank you, Greg. Stay safe and be well, everybody. Thank you.
Yes, and I'm canceling off here as well with Jon. No bonus races, so I'm going to keep Jon for just one more second to let everybody know what picks were once again. In the Wood, Jon went 2 with 4, 6, 7. I went 2 with 4, 8, 12. In the Santa Anita, Jon went 4 with 1, 2. I went with the 1. And in the Bluegrass, Jon went 3 over 1, 6. I went 3 over 6, 7. Those are our picks. Good luck, everybody. More comments, more questions. Let us know, and we'll see you again next week. Jon?
Thank you, sir. Be well and stay safe, everybody. Thank you, Greg.